So by now, the news is very much out that Tyson Fury versus Wladimir Klitschko has been postponed. The date of October the 24th has been cancelled. The news is that Wladimir Klitschko, heavyweight super champion of the world, has picked up what seems to be a minor to mid-level calf injury and is going to have to postpone. Now, the good news for us boxing fans, and I must admit I was looking forward to this fight more than anything, is that it looks like being postponed, and Peter Fury did an interview with IFL TV. He was saying late November, possibly November the 27th. So this doesn't look like a terrible setback. It's not the kind of thing where Tyson's necessarily going to have to break camp, you know, blow up in weight again and then go back to the ring. It's going to be more of a continuation and extension. I guess there's an argument to say that Tyson's been in camp for so long already. I think he's already been in for like 6 weeks and there's still, 4 weeks to go and now another 4 weeks. That there is a risk that his camp goes on too long and that he may peak too early and possibly overtrain. So that's something the guys will have to figure out between themselves. But the news isn't as bad as I'd first feared. It is only a month's delay. Now, Tyson Fury has had an incredibly hard run, as we know. We've had the death of his uncle. We've had the 2 David Haye fights that were cancelled. We had a Derek Chisora fight that was cancelled. And now, on the biggest stage of all, fighting for the biggest prize in sport, we've got a Wladimir Klitschko cancellation. It does seem bizarre that the Klitschko cancellation has come, a day or so after the crazy press conference where we had Tyson Fury dressed as Batman wrestling the Joker and where we had Tyson Fury losing his mind. It does seem that that is a very odd coincidence. Having said that, people saying Klitschko's scared or Klitschko's a bitch, etc. Like, typically, if Klitschko is scared, he's probably not going to, delay by only 4 weeks. You'd look for a longer break than that. I mean, I find it hard to believe that a man who's beaten Kubrat Pulev, Sam Peter, David Haye, Povetkin is going to be scared. But, people do say these sort of things. I mean, one thing that is definitely clear is that Wladimir Klitschko is not a guy who's got a problem pulling out fights. He's done it with Chisora. He's done it with... he's done it numerous times, Klitschko, where we've seen fights cancelled, postponed, delayed. I think we even saw it with Kubrat Pulev very recently, actually. There's an argument to say that that's because he's a tactician and he likes to put in tactical delays. There's also another argument that this guy's got nothing to gain and very much to lose, and at his advanced age, nearly 40 years old, he's just a perfectionist and he refuses to fight with any niggles or any minor injuries. And to be honest, given his profile, given his longevity, I think he kind of deserves that respect. So, is it tactics from Wladimir Klitschko? I think it's doubtful. I think it probably is a genuine case of a guy who's been at the top of the sport for very long, picking up a little niggle and being a perfectionist. Vladimir's quite a clinical guy in and out of the ring, and I don't think he'd be tempted to fight for an injury when he could simply delay. Is it going to mess with Tyson Fury's head? Possibly. He's already put out a few tweets, stating that he's going to be on the Guinness tonight, etc. It's unfortunate if that does happen, because Peter Fury tweeted some photos of Tyson only a day or two ago, and Tyson was looking in good shape. He looked like he'd really come on in his training camp. So I hope this doesn't get to Tyson's head. He's had such a bad run of luck with withdrawals. But essentially, this is only a month's delay, and he's waited so long for this shot, he can wait another month. There's a few interesting things that will affect Eddie Hearn here. Now, is October the 24th still a pay-per-view? I think it may well still be a pay-per-view, and I'll tell you why. You got Kell Brook Chavez. It was announced that Chris Eubank Jr. will be fighting on that card. That's something that I'm going to discuss in a video imminently. But you got Kell Brook Chavez, Chris Eubank Jr. in a 10-rounder. Maybe even the potential... Well, Eddie Hearn was saying in his IFL TV interview that maybe even Tyson would fight on the undercard. I think that's highly unlikely if they're looking for a Klitschko match in November. So we'll write that off. But it's not impossible. Now Matchroom have signed Eubank, and now Eubank Jr. will be on the card alongside Diego Chavez Kell Brook. That if they can fire in one more match, if they can conjure up some sort of other big name matchup, that this fight remains a pay-per-view. Now, if Klitschko Fury does fight on November the 27th, that creates another real difficult problem for Eddie Hearn, because he's going to run Klitschko Fury on pay-per-view, which is going to be late November. Now, at the same time, you've got to remember that Joshua Dillian Whyte is early to mid-December, and I think very clearly he's going to want that as pay-per-view, isn't he? So it's a difficult one. He's now in a situation where he's gone from having what I consider to be a very strong pay-per-view in Klitschko Fury, Brook Chavez, to having a more dubious pay-per-view situation. Is Brook Chavez and Eubank pay-per-view in its own right? I personally would suggest no. Eddie Hearn may beg to differ. Also, obviously Fury Klitschko is still a pay-per-view fight, but how comfortable is Eddie Hearn having two pay-per-views, Klitschko Fury and Whyte Joshua, within a fortnight of each other? It's a big question. So my view on this, as I say, is that it could have a big effect on Eddie Hearn. I think he's going to be putting on a brave face, but will clearly be gutted by the news. It's bad news for Tyson Fury and Team Fury. Hopefully he stays strong, doesn't lose his head. If it's only a 4-week delay, stay in the gym, stay in good condition. Wladimir's not getting any younger. I know it's only a month, so it's not going to make much difference. But, Wladimir, we last saw him in the ring, and not his best performance. He turned 39. He's getting closer and closer to 40. And as they say, Father Time is the ultimate winner in boxing. Finally, just before I end, I saw an article on Boxing Scene saying David Haye has popped up and poked a bit of fun about Tyson Fury, saying the boxing gods are against Fury. He clearly doesn't deserve that retirement check. I think that's deeply disrespectful of David Haye. Not to Tyson Fury. They obviously don't like each other, and I couldn't care about that. But the same fans who sell that huge amount of money on David Haye Fury tickets, who organise train tickets to see the fight, who organise hotels to stay at, those same fans are once again hurt by an injury. People who've paid flights to go and see Fury box in Germany, people who've booked hotels out of there, people who've taken time off work. And I think David Haye popping up and having a bit of a crack at Tyson Fury disrespects those fans and those people who've spent a lot of money on the event, and it's something that David Haye clearly has not had respect of with his recent actions. So for me, I don't have any time for that at all. I'm disappointed. It's only 4 weeks. I'm interested to see what Eddie Hearn does. I'm interested to see how he handles this pay-per-view situation. Let me know your thoughts. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on all the subjects we've discussed. The Klitschko Fury postponement, the David Haye comments, the Eddie Hearn pay-per-view situation. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please give me the thumbs up.